The NFL is full of legends, impossible plays, and records that sound completely made up. But every single fact in this video is 100% real. From undefeated seasons to quarterbacks who dominated for decades, these stories prove why the NFL is the most intense league in sports. Stay until the end, because the last fact might be the craziest one of all. The only perfect season in modern NFL history. The 1972 Miami Dolphins did something that still feels impossible more than 50 years later. They didn't just win the Super Bowl. They didn't just dominate their division. They won every single game they played. 14 regular season games, 3 playoff games, 17 victories, 0 losses. In a league built for parity, where injuries, weather, and randomness destroy perfect runs, the Dolphins finished 17-0. And here's what makes it even crazier. Multiple teams have come close. The 2007 Patriots went 16-0 in the regular season, and then lost the Super Bowl. But no team in the modern Super Bowl era has ever completed a perfect season again. Not dynasties. Not legendary quarterbacks. Not even undefeated regular season teams. The 1972 Dolphins remain alone in history. Tom Brady won more Super Bowls than entire NFL franchises. When people talk about greatness in sports, one name always appears: Tom Brady. But here's the part that sounds completely unreal. He won 7 Super Bowls. That's more championships than any single NFL franchise in history. And he didn't do it in one short, dominant run. He won his first 3 championships with the New England Patriots in the 2001, 2003, and 2004 seasons. At the time, he was just a young quarterback stepping into a dynasty. Then, after nearly a decade without a title, many thought his era was over. But he came back and won again in 2014, and again in 2016, in the legendary 28-3 comeback, and again in 2018. 6 Super Bowls with one franchise. And then came the moment that shocked the entire league. At 43 years old, Brady left the Patriots and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Most players decline sharply in their late 30s. But in 2020, in his very first season with Tampa Bay, he won his 7th Super Bowl. 7 championships. 10 Super Bowl appearances. 2 decades of dominance. In a league built on physical punishment and short careers, Tom Brady didn't just win. He outlasted generations. The 28-3 comeback that shocked America. In Super Bowl 51, the Atlanta Falcons were dominating the game. Late in the third quarter, the scoreboard showed something that looked final. 28-3. The New England Patriots were down by 25 points. No team in Super Bowl history had ever come back from a deficit that large. Win probability models gave the Falcons more than a 99% chance to win. The game looked over. Fans were celebrating. Commentators were already preparing the Falcons' championship narrative. But then something shifted. Led by Tom Brady, the Patriots began one of the most methodical and relentless comebacks ever seen in sports. Touchdown. 2-point conversion. Defensive stop. Another touchdown. The pressure started to flip. The Falcons tightened. The Patriots believed. For the first time in Super Bowl history, the game went into overtime. And on the very first drive of overtime, New England scored a touchdown. Final score: New England Patriots 34, Atlanta Falcons 28. From 28-3 to 34-28 champions. It wasn't just a win. It became a cultural reference. To this day, 28-3 is remembered as the ultimate collapse and the ultimate comeback. The longest field goal in NFL history. English script, verso longa, 1 minute plus. In 2021, something happened that many experts believed was nearly impossible. A 66-yard field goal. To understand how far that really is, imagine kicking a football from almost 2/3 the length of the entire field, under game pressure. The kicker was Justin Tucker of the Baltimore Ravens. It was the final seconds of the game against the Detroit Lions. The Ravens were losing. There was no room for error. The snap. The hold. The kick launched high into the air. The ball traveled 66 yards. It hit the crossbar, bounced upward, and barely crossed the line. Good. Final score, Ravens 19, Lions 17. It became the longest successful field goal in NFL history. Under pressure. As time expired. In a league where inches decide careers, Justin Tucker delivered a moment that may never be repeated. The Immaculate Reception. On December 23, 1972, in an AFC divisional playoff game, the Pittsburgh Steelers were trailing the Oakland Raiders 7-6 with just 22 seconds left. It was 4th and 10. The Steelers' season was basically over. Quarterback Terry Bradshaw dropped back and launched a desperate pass toward running back John "Frenchie" Fuqua. The ball collided with a defender, and chaos erupted. The football ricocheted backward. Out of nowhere, rookie running back Franco Harris scooped the ball just inches above the turf before it could hit the ground. Without hesitation, he sprinted down the sideline. Touchdown. Steelers win. 13-7. The play became known forever as the Immaculate Reception. It wasn't just a touchdown. It was the moment the Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty was born. And to this day, it remains one of the most controversial and legendary plays in NFL history. The Ice Bowl, 1967. On December 31, 1967, the NFL championship game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys was played in conditions so brutal, it became known forever as the Ice Bowl. The temperature at kickoff was -13 degrees Fahrenheit. With wind chill, it felt like -48. The field at Lambeau Field was completely frozen. Players later said it felt like running on concrete. In the final seconds of the game, the Packers were trailing 17-14. With just 16 seconds left, Green Bay was inches from the goal line. Quarterback Bart Starr walked to the sideline and told coach Vince Lombardi he wanted to call his own play. On third down, instead of handing the ball off, Starr kept it himself and followed his blockers into the end zone. Touchdown. Packers win 21-17. It wasn't just a championship. It was the defining moment of toughness in NFL history. And it secured Vince Lombardi's legacy forever. The perfect season, almost. In 2007, the New England Patriots didn't just have a great season. They had one of the most dominant seasons in NFL history. Led by Tom Brady and wide receiver Randy Moss, the Patriots went 16-0 in the regular season, the first team ever to do that since the league expanded to 16 games. Tom Brady threw 50 touchdown passes that season, breaking the previous record. Randy Moss caught 23 touchdown passes, also a new record at the time. They weren't just winning. They were destroying teams. The Patriots averaged over 36 points per game, overwhelming defenses with speed, precision, and explosive plays. They entered the Super Bowl with an 18-0 record. One game away from the first 19-0 perfect season in NFL history. But then, everything changed. In Super Bowl 42, they faced the New York Giants. Late in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots leading, Giants quarterback Eli Manning escaped what looked like a guaranteed sack, and completed one of the most famous passes in football history, the helmet catch. The Giants won 17-14. The Patriots finished 18-1. The greatest season ever. That almost was. The youngest MVP in NFL history. In 2019, something historic happened in the NFL. A 23-year-old quarterback became the youngest player ever to win the league's Most Valuable Player award. His name, Lamar Jackson. In just his second season with the Baltimore Ravens, Jackson completely changed how the quarterback position was viewed. He didn't just throw the ball. He ran like a running back. He finished the season with 36 touchdown passes and over 1,200 rushing yards, a record for a quarterback. Defenses couldn't stop him. If they pressured him, he escaped. If they covered deep, he ran. If they stacked the box, he threw touchdowns. He led the Ravens to a 14-2 record and dominated the league with speed, creativity, and explosiveness rarely seen before. At just 23 years old, Lamar Jackson became the youngest MVP in NFL history. And he proved that the future of the quarterback position had officially changed. The longest play in NFL history. Have you ever wondered what the longest play in NFL history is? Most fans imagine a huge touchdown pass or a long kickoff return. But the truth is even more unbelievable. In 2013, during a game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings, something incredible happened. After a missed field goal attempt, the football landed in the end zone. Players scrambled, the ball was picked up, lateraled, and passed between teammates as defenders tried to stop the chaos. The play kept going, and going, and going. By the time it finally ended, the ball had traveled a total of 109 yards, making it one of the most chaotic and longest continuous plays ever recorded in NFL history. Moments like this are why football fans love the NFL, because in this sport, anything can happen in just a few seconds. The only player to score in every possible way. In the long and complex history of the NFL, scoring can happen in several different ways. Players can score by catching touchdown passes, running with the ball, returning kicks, or even recovering fumbles. But only one player in NFL history has managed to score in every possible way. That player was the legendary Walter Payton, one of the greatest running backs ever to play the game for the Chicago Bears. During his incredible career, Payton scored touchdowns by running the ball, catching passes, and even throwing touchdown passes himself. He also returned kicks and scored on special teams plays. But one of the most unusual moments happened when Payton scored after recovering a blocked kick, something extremely rare in football. Because of his versatility, strength, and intelligence on the field, Walter Payton became the only player in NFL history credited with scoring in every major way possible. His nickname was Sweetness, but on the field he was anything but gentle. Payton finished his career with over 16,000 rushing yards, making him one of the most legendary players the NFL has ever seen. Even decades later, his legacy remains one of the greatest in football history. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you're definitely someone who loves incredible facts and surprising stories. And trust me, the world is full of them. Here on this channel, we explore the most fascinating, unbelievable, and sometimes mind-blowing facts about sports, history, nature, science, and much more. So if you enjoy discovering things that most people have never heard before, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and select all notifications, so you never miss the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, share this video, and tell us in the comments, which of these NFL facts surprised you the most? And if you love amazing discoveries like this, come back soon, because there are many more incredible facts waiting for you.